What is going on, guys? Bamdeadstroke back with Blue-Green Merfolk standard deck tech for the first day of my 25 Days of Christmas special. I'll be doing a daily upload from now until Christmas Day, so let's jump right into the deck. We'll start with the 1-drops. We have a 4 of Opt for card advantage, 1 mana, scry 1, draw a card, instant speed, good to help keep our hand full so we're not dumping out our entire hand super quickly, because as you can see, very aggressive curve. So we want to make sure we have some card draw in order to keep our hand full. Next up, we have Blossoming Defense, really good protection against targeted removal. 1 mana, target creature you control gets +2/+2 and hexproof until end of turn. So again, just really good keeping our creatures alive if we need to. Also, just good accidental extra damage if we need it to do that. So that's really nice. Kumena's Speaker, 1 mana, 1/1, but it gets +1/+1 as long as we control another merfolk or an island. So in our deck, it's almost always a 2/2 or bigger, as you'll see later. Another card draw engine we have is Chart a Course, 2 mana, draw 2, then discard a card unless you attacked with a creature this turn. Sorcery kind of stinks, but really easy to attack with a creature in this deck, so we don't often have to discard a card, and 2 mana for 2 cards is a really good ratio for the deck. River Sneak, 2 mana, 1/1, but it can't be blocked, and whenever another merfolk enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So if we play 3 merfolk, it gets +3/+3 until end of turn, which is really nice, especially because it can't be blocked. So if we're able to give it hexproof, and we can play a bunch of merfolk, it's a really good threat late game. We also have Merfolk Branchwalker as some more card advantage. 2 mana, 2/1, but it has Explore. So when it enters the battlefield, we reveal the top card of our library. If it's a land, we put it into our hand. Otherwise, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and we can either put that card back on top of our library if we need it, or we can filter it into our graveyard if we don't need it. Deeproot Waters, one of the best engines in the deck. 3 mana enchantment. Whenever we cast a merfolk spell, we make a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token with hexproof. Hexproof is really nice to have, even on a 1/1, because it means they have to block it if they want to try to kill it, and we have plenty of +1/+1 counter stuff to make it bigger. We also have Blossoming Defense to make it bigger, and a bunch of other stuff to help. So 1/1, we can also cast a bunch of merfolk in the same turn, so really we can have multiple 1/1s enter the battlefield at the same time. We can also have multiple Deeproot Waters out, running 3 of them. So if we have 2 of them out and we cast a merfolk, we get 2 1/1s, which is really nice. In my opinion, one of the best cards in the deck, Kopala, Warden of Waves. 3 mana, 2/2, not the best, but spells our opponents cast that target our merfolk cast 2 extra to cast, and abilities our opponents activate to target a merfolk we control cost 2 more to activate also. So Shock, if they want to try to shock our Kopala, it costs 3 mana instead of 1, or if they want a Lightning Strike, a 3/3 River Sneak that we have, or something like that, it costs 4 mana instead of 2 mana. So it really makes them think about what creatures they want to remove, and they have to get rid of Kopala in order to do that. We also have Vineshaper Mystic, 3 mana, 1/3. Again, not super great, but when it enters the battlefield, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target merfolk we control. So if we have 2 other merfolk out when it enters the battlefield, we can put a 1/1 counter on those 2 merfolk. If we only have 1 merfolk out, we can also put the counter on it, since it's an enter the battlefield trigger. So at very worst, it's a 3 mana 2/4, which is a decent blocker. Also, if we have a Deeproot Waters out, we get the 1/1 merfolk, which is really nice. Now on to one of the main win conditions of the entire deck, Herald of Secret Streams. 4 mana 2/3, not the best, I'll admit. But creatures we control with +1/+1 counters on them can't be blocked, which means they have to use removal against us, and if we have Kopala on the battlefield, their removal costs extra, or at least their targeted removal costs extra, which means we put them in a very tight predicament on mana, and we also can get in for extra damage. So Herald of Secret Stream is really important to the deck, even though it's just a 2/3. And now, the card that really makes Herald of Secret Streams worth it, Verdurous Gearhulk, the honorary Merfolk of the deck. Obviously, not a not a Merfolk. It is a Gearhulk. It's not a Merfolk, but it does have Trample, and when it enters the battlefield, we get to put 4/1/1 counters among any number of creatures we control. So we can put it on it plus 3 different Merfolk. We can put it on 4 different Merfolk. We can put it on 2 different Merfolk and make them bigger. We can make a bunch of our stuff unblockable if we have Herald of Secret Streams out, and it really just helps us get in a whole bunch of damage. For the lands, we're just running some basic forests, some basic islands, some Hash-Up Oasis, really good for getting in a little bit of extra damage with Trample. Unfortunately, we can only activate it as a sorcery, and Hash-Up Oasis is the only desert in the deck, so we have to sacrifice itself. But again, that +3/+3 in Trample could be very key, getting in that last little bit of damage, so really nice to have that. We also have a 4 of Unclaimed Territory, just better mana fixing since our only dual land in the deck is Woodland Stream. I would like to also be running 4 Botanical Sanctum, either instead of Woodland Stream or along with Woodland Stream. But this is a fairly budget deck, about 25-30 ticks on MTGO if you do this exact, with the Masterpiece Verdurous Gearhulks and everything. So let's take a look at the sideboard here. We got, for counter spells, we have 2 Spell Pierce, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2, 2 Essence Scatter, counter target creature spell, and negate counter target non-creature spell. For aggro decks, we have 2 Life Goes On. For control decks, we also have Shaper's Sanctuary. So whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. So if we have it plus Kopala, we'll be making them pay 2 extra mana, and we'll be able to draw a card. So that's really nice to have. For the 3 drops in sideboard, we have a Jace Cunning Castaway, which might seem a little awkward, but the +1 ability is actually very relevant since a lot of our stuff is unblockable or won't be blocked. So it's just a bit more card filtering. We don't get to draw for each creature that deals combat damage to a player, but it's still decent card filtering if we need it. We also have Shapers of Nature to put +1/+1 counters on creatures if we need it to. We also can remove +1/+1 counters from creatures to draw a card. So if we're running low on cards in hand but we have a bunch of mana, we can take a +1/+1 counter off a creature and draw a card. And then finally, probably shouldn't be in the deck, maybe, but I had to put in 2 Tishana, my favorite card in Ixalan. Loved it when it was spoiled, love it now. 7 mana for a star legendary Merfolk Shaman. Tishana's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand. We have no maximum hand size, and when she enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control. So if we have 6 creatures out and we play Tishana, we get to draw 7 cards, and we have no maximum hand size. So we could have like 12 cards in our hand, which is really nice to have, just all the cards. So yeah, that's just a pretty basic, pretty budget blue-green Merfolk deck. Again, it's about 30 tickets online. So yeah, I've enjoyed playing it. The one real downside is that we don't really have a big benefit to playing Merfolk. We also have a fairly inconsistent mana base. Unclaimed Territory is really necessary, as well as whatever dual lands we have. So Woodland Stream or Botanical Sanctum, whatever you can get. We don't have any gold cards in the main deck, but Shaper Sanctuary and Tishana in the sideboard. And none of our stuff really costs double of anything other than Kopala and Verdurous Gearhulk. So usually it's not a big of an issue, but there have been times where I have a forest and Hash-Up Oasis, so I can't use the +1, the +3/+3 and trample effect on it. So it's a little bit annoying. We really need the dual lands. But like I said, I was trying to keep this version budget. The first non-budget upgrade that I would make is definitely Botanical Sanctums if you have them. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun playing this deck, playing Herald of Secret Streams and surprising people and just attacking with like 6 unblockable Merfolk is pretty fun. Yes, I've had 6 unblockable Merfolk, 6 different Merfolk with +1/+1 counters on them. Deep-root Waters really surprises people when we have 2 of them out and we play a 1 mana Kumena Speaker on like turn 5, but then we get 2 extra Merfolk. So really, we get 3 creatures for 1 mana, which is really nice. Shaper Sanctuary has been really big coming in control matchups. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun with the deck. So I'd recommend it as a budget deck. I don't know that it's going to be winning any, World Magic Cups going on, but it might surprise some people at FNM. Just a little bit of a consistency issue with the land and the mana base, but yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it. I look forward to recording some gameplay over this 25 Days of Christmas that I'm doing. Um, to add on to that, if you don't follow me on Twitter, be sure to do that. I'll be tweeting out plenty of stuff about my 25 Days of Christmas special. I'm also doing a daily video every day from now until Christmas, which is December 25th. So 25 videos daily, not daily, 1 video per day for 25 days. The goal to get to 100 subscribers by Christmas, to do a giveaway, make somebody happy for Christmas and New Year. Also to just kind of get me back into the recording feel. So yeah, be sure to leave a comment what cards you would put in or take out. If you want to see me play this deck, be sure to also let me know in the comments. Really the biggest thing that I've had is about Tishana's Wayfinder, because a 3-mana 2/2 or a 3-mana 3/3 is pretty nice in the deck, plus, more explore and more essential card advantage. But I just like Divine Shaper Mystic a bit more because it distributes multiple 1/1/+1/+1 counters across different creatures, so I thought it was going to be a bit better in the deck. If there are any different changes that you would make, just let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, and like I said, be sure you subscribe and check back daily. From now until Christmas, I'll be doing daily uploads, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.